Hello everyone, welcome back to Cryptogains for another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you this chart again, giving you guys an update on the whole cryptocurrency bull market as a whole, and just break down like Bitcoin a bit, talk about the altcoins, and really see where this market's going to go. If this sounds interesting to you, please drop that like, give me a subscribe if you're new watching, and I am going to dive into this. But before I do so, I need to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own personal opinions on the market, so please always do your own research before investing any money. That being said, if you've been watching my channel, I've been showing you this chart every other week just to keep you up to date with what's going on in relation to the hype cycle and the bull market and blah, blah, blah. Because, right now, people are trying to decide, is there still more room for this cycle to grow? Is it going to fall? Is it going to collapse on our face? Well, what am I laughing for? But, these are the questions that we want to know. So I'm going to try and help you understand it. Now, I know a lot of you who have been watching my channel understand these charts that you're seeing. There may be new people, so I'm going to help them understand what they're seeing. Let's flick it on and off so you can see what's going on here. I have the Bitcoin investor tool. That's what you see flicking on and off. I have the Pi cycle, and I'm going to break them down one by one again just so you can refresh your mind and understand what's going on. That's the Pi cycle in the middle. And then I have the 200-week heat map, which is at the bottom. You see it flashing on and off there, right? Let's just focus on the Bitcoin investor tool, because this is a really significant lines for me, because whenever you've seen Bitcoin be above this red line, it's always been a great time to buy. Now, this is back in 2017. You can see down here the date, right? So the last bull cycle, whenever it broke above this red line, I can zoom it in a bit for you as well so we can see. Whenever it broke above the red line, it was a perfect opportunity to, try and plan to take some profits on your, explosive gains. And then whenever it broke back into the red line, we came down for, the beginning of our bear market. Now, this is sometimes how you can tell if you still have room to grow in relation to the bull market and the bear market. We can go back, and you probably see the same thing again for the last bull markets. And this one is back in 2013, 2014. You can see here, obviously it's not going extending, but if it did extend, it probably would have come something like that. Let me just see if I can draw it. I don't know. Probably would have done something like this, and you can see that that it came out and then it came back down for a bear market. But yeah, look, every time it's broke above the red line, always gone up, and then bounced back it and bounced off of it and not even cutting it. And then when it's come back down, we've seen the bear market. So moving forward, where are we now in relation to the market that we're in? I'll explain these circles that I've highlighted in a second. Moving forward, this is where we are now. And as you can see, we haven't even broke the red line. So this for me tells me that maybe there's still a bit more room to grow. Now, let me just explain this green line. Whenever the price of Bitcoin has been under this green line, always been a fantastic time to buy. You can use this Bitcoin investor tool for other altcoins and stuff if you want. I'm not sure how accurate the reading would be because I think it's made for Bitcoin, but you can try it and it may give you some sort of idea as to when there's always a good time to buy and sell crypto. But anytime it's been underneath this green line, perfect opportunity to buy. You can see here, this was the bottom of the actual bull market. But yeah, let's just bring on the Pi cycle now, because the Pi cycle has been calling the tops of the market perfectly in the past. Again, 2017, and you can see here faintly it has a purple line that shows across all the way down, straight line all the way down a purple line that marks the top of the bull market, and obviously comes down into the bear. And another way you can tell with the Pi cycle usually is that the orange line, which you see here, right, when it crosses the red line, when we see that cross, at the exact cross, it confirms the top of the market, and that's been significant in the past. And if you look back again, I'm going to zoom this out real quick so we can see it's been significant in the past, like you see here. And we sort of had two highs in one sort of year, because they're both dated 2013, April 2013, November, December 2013. So and every time the Pi cycle has crossed, we've seen that. But this time around, what are we seeing? Because I showed you guys before, if you've been new watching, it's a bit different this time because it's already marked the top. But I feel like that this isn't the top yet. So from this data, and I said it before in my last video, I'll say it again, I think whoever made this pi cycle chart was, you know, they kind of made it around this year here, 2017, and then they tried to, you know, tally it up so it marked with the tops of this one here and this one here. I think that's how it was made. Whether it gets updated, I'm not sure. But, you know, for me, I have to look at all indicators as a whole. I can't just take the pi cycle by itself because, you know, for me, I'm looking for this break out of the yellow, out of the red line. And when I see that break, I expect Bitcoin to do, you know, a fast, hyper, super cycle, go really high up and then come back down, and, you know, we see our bear market. So, you know, let's just take a look at these yellow circles that I printed here, because I've done two, right? I marked, three lots of yellow circles, you know, right there and right here. It looks eerily similar, because if we have a look in the last hype cycle, you can see that Bitcoin bounced off of the pi cycle and it bounced above it, and then it came above, tried to break the red line, no luck, and then it bounced back down. It bounced off the pi cycle. You can see it here, it's bouncing off the orange line, right? And then it came back up, and then it finally broke out. So let's just take a look now of what we're seeing this time around. You know, it came above, it didn't even hit the red line, come down, sort of kind of almost close to bouncing off the pi cycle. It went up. You know, let me zoom this in. We got rejected again. You know, you can treat that as a rejection if you like. Didn't come anywhere near down here. But, you know, we've just come down here in this third circle and we're bouncing off it. So we, you know, we could probably, again, not 100% sure. This is just what I'm seeing. We could potentially come back up. And if we do, you know, I'm looking on the right-hand side over here. I'm seeing highs of 80,000 if it goes up towards the red line again. If it breaks it, I'm looking for this line up here. 160,000, because that's sort of at the top what I believe it can hit. If you want to know how I got that, you can check my other videos. I show you what they look like. You want to look for the videos that have the blue background with the Bitcoin exploding. Let me just grab it up in my videos real quick so you can see here. Let's have a look. So here we going, are we going higher? You see the blue background, this cycle over. These are the videos that you want to be paying attention to so you understand what's going on in this bull cycle. See it here, bull cycle top. So check them, because it doesn't matter if you have Bitcoin or any type of cryptocurrency, altcoins, it's going to let you know what's going on next, right? So that's one thing that I wanted you to really pay attention to. Let's just quickly go back over and have a look at the heat map, because the heat map has always been good to tell you when, you know, you really are at the time of selling your crypto and buying your crypto. So it shows us when we're sort of at the top. Now you can view this heat map in two ways. I'm showing you on a chart like this, and you know, whenever it's been at the top, it's always been fire red. You see, it goes from yellow, turns to fire red. Whenever it's been at the bottom of the market, the bear market, you know, dark bluish colors, that's what we're seeing. It also works like a good time to buy as well. So let's just take a look at what we're seeing. I'm seeing green at the moment. I don't see any red. And for me, because I don't see that, I feel like personally that, you know, this bull market may, you know, it may be longer than we think. It might run through, it sounds crazy, I know. It may run through an extra 6, 8, maybe another year until we see some red. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, if something crazy happens and then this spikes yellow and turns red over the next couple of months, you know, this is saying July down here, you can see, then yeah, then, you know, then I can update you and say, you know, I think we're close to the top of the market. But until I see some red, like what I saw in the past, I don't think that, you know, I still think there's more room for this whole hype cycle to go, really, the whole bull market. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Again, it's not always going to be accurate. I can't promise you that the same thing's going to happen in the past, but I can only show you what I see and give you the data on what I see. A few other ways that we can tell if the hype cycle is done is, you know, let me just show you the 200 heat map in this form. Same thing like I showed you on the charts, but, you know, you can see it like this. Whenever it's been red, you know, you've always seen the highs of the bull market. You can see up here, always been the highs. Right now we're sort of in the yellow stage, and it looks like we could maybe print another yellow or print a green before we go up and then print a red somewhere up here. I don't know, but that's what I'm checking at as well. 200 week moving average heat map. I usually just type 200 week heat map. You can search that in Google if you want it, it'll come up. Another interesting chart that I think we should really pay attention to is this one, the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves, because, you know, it's every time we see it hit the top here within these three yellow lines, you've got a top yellow line, middle yellow line, and a bottom yellow line. They've been quite significant in relation to the, you know, the entire market as a whole. And, you know, every time I see it hitting the top of these, the top of this yellow line, it's always called the top. Same for when it's called the bottom, right? So, you know, it gives us a good reading as to how much room or, you know, space we have left for this to grow. I'm just going to zoom in here where we are today because, you know, we can get a good look at what's going on. So this was back in March, that dump that we had, that massive drop. And you can see now that was a perfect opportunity to buy because it went below the yellow line. And for me, anything below this yellow line, again, could be a great opportunity to buy. But yeah, look, we're coming up. You can still see we've got a bit more room for Bitcoin to grow. You know, at the highs, if it was to come up here to the highest, this orange thing saying 117,000, I don't know, let's extend it a bit further, 117, 118,000, that's the kind of price we could see when it comes up to the top of the logarithmic growth curves. You can check this again in your own time as well. Just, again, type Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves, and then in Google it will come up. But yeah, I mean, is there any more that I should say on this? Let's have a look on the actual chart and what I'm seeing here. This is just, I don't like doing too much, technical analysis, because I'm not the best at it, but I'm good enough to know what I know, and I'm happy to share it with you. I'm looking at this on the daily chart, right? Again, Bitcoin, and the reason I focus on Bitcoin, because it tells you what the rest of the market will do. You know, if Bitcoin goes down, prices tend to fall with it. Right now, it's struggling to break above the 21-day moving average, which is this yellow line. And for those who are new watching, it's a very significant line, because whenever Bitcoin's been above it, you can see it's held incredible support and it's bounced off this line all the way through. Right back into September 2020, it bounced above it. See it? Constantly bounced above it, broke down there. But, you know, it bounced above it. And that's what I've been looking. Recently, it broke it. And, you know, it also broke one called the 50 moving. This one is the 100-day moving average, because that was the next support for me to look at. And you can see it came right down to the 100 and it's come above it. So, yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on this. If it breaks above the yellow, the 21-day, then, you know, we could see the highs come again for Bitcoin. But, you know, also looking at this thing down here called the stochastic RSI. It looks like we may be coming into that overbought stage. I suppose when it gets, you know, a bit more above is when we're classed as overbought. But yeah, anything above this line, sort of this purplish, bluish area, is classed as overbought. I think there's like purplish in it. But one last thing I want to show you in relation to the entire cryptocurrency market as a whole is this. The global cryptocurrency charts, market cap, and Bitcoin dominance, because this is important. Now look what happened back in what is this, 2017 right here. After the Bitcoin went really high, Bitcoin's dominance fell. And I've been telling you guys for the longest time, I'm watching the Bitcoin dominance, because when the Bitcoin dominance falls, it means people are taking money out of Bitcoin and they're going to start throwing it into altcoins. And you saw that happen in the last bull cycle. You saw Bitcoin fall, and coins like Ethereum, because it went from £3 to like 200 and something, I'm sure, maybe even higher, £1,000. You saw XRP explode to like £2.75 when it was under like 0.003 pence or whatever it was, fragments of a penny. And look how low it actually went. So here, this drop here, it says Bitcoin was 37.84%. You can see it. I'm moving it around, but if you look at the orange dots, because it shows all the different types of coins, right? Bitcoin, the top one, 37.84%. So this gives us a rough guide as to what kind of dominance we want to look at when this alt season is, you know, coming to its peak. And, you know, it actually went lower. Down here it says 32.81%. So I'm looking for the mid ranges of between 37 to 32, anywhere in that range. That's the time I'm going to be thinking about selling my altcoins, because that tells me that we could be towards the end of the alt season. Where are we now? Today? Right now today, Bitcoin's dominance is at 47%. So you can see that we still have a bit more room for these altcoins to grow, because, you know, when more people take money out of Bitcoin, it's going to go into altcoins. And, you know, I really do think we're going to see a higher cycle for these altcoins. If you want to grab this chart up here, very simple. You go on coinmarketcap.com. You come up here where it says the dominance. You see all up here, look, the Bitcoin dominance right here. And you just click on this. And then it will open up like I just showed you here. And then you scroll down until you see the dominance. And then, yeah, you can keep an eye on this yourself. I really think you should do, because you want to make sure that you're not that person. When you see the market go up and then you think it's going to go high and then it falls down on your face. You don't want to be that person, so really keep an eye on the dominance. Yeah, that gives you sort of like best times as to when you want to buy and sell your cryptocurrency. But I'm going to leave it here. If this was helpful to you, please drop that like. Give me a subscribe if you're new watching. I did no mummy jokes. I did no Billy jokes, no granny jokes. I kept it clean and simple today because, you know, sometimes you need to keep it a bit too serious. Not too serious, just a bit too serious. Enough for you to understand what's going on. And yeah, shout out to my patrons. I apologize. I do not have my phone on me. I left it upstairs because I wanted to quickly run down and do some stuff. I do apologize. But yeah, going through a crazy time at home at the minute. Family and stuff. We have a baby on the way, me and my partner. So yeah, you know, it's exciting times for us. So it's a bit of a mad one at the minute. Keeping myself occupied for when he comes with baby boy we got on the way. I'll update you on that as well if you want to know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Shout out to my patrons. Big up to all of you. If you guys are watching and want to become a patron, because you best believe they're going to see this video first. So they get up to date and stay frequent and know what's going to go. And if you don't want to miss out on videos like this and you want to see it first and prepare yourself, you're welcome to become a patron. I have 7 tiers. Take your pick. And yeah, you know, if you want my buy, sell, stake alerts, that's the one I would recommend going for. It's in a higher tier, but you know, it's entirely up to you at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers!